Yeah, baby, we back. I told you I was coming right back. R.I.M.E live in HD. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we had to switch it up. So today, which is today, man, what we getting into today? I want to talk about the forces. Oh yeah, it just hit me. I want to talk about the forces. What are the forces? The forces are the unseen, untangible things that show up in your life to derail you. Yeah. We got to get it. It's almost like a 2-part series. Go check out Stick to It, my last joint. The forces is the reason you got to stick to it, because the forces for some reason show up. I'll give you a couple examples. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, the whole nine. The forces, I'll give you an example of the forces. One of the forces. Anybody on the sound of my voice ever been in the scenario where you came up on some more money, some extra money, unexpected money, and it's almost like a memo went out to the universe letting the universe know he came up on a bag, he came up on some extra money? Because it seems like everything and everybody know without you telling them that you came up on some money, and they come snatching it. Car breakdown, your plumbing jacked up in your house. None of this, when you had the money, none of these a problem. But as soon as you come up on a little extra, some come along and try to snatch it. I call those the forces. Now, the forces aren't always negative. They're not always bad, because, negativity and positivity, they coexist. So they actually need each other. There would be no positivity if it wasn't for negativity. But what I want to share with you is the importance of your focus, because you would take a negative situation and do one or two things with it. Make it a positive or make it more negative. All that relies on your focus. That's why when these forces show up, it's very careful how you be. You got to be very careful on how you interpret the forces. Because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes stuff will come at you so fast in so many ways and so rapidly, you'll just start feeling overwhelmed, and you'll be like, man, what's the use, man? And you'll throw in the towel. On your focus, on that thing that you're supposed to be sticking to. So that's why you got to be real careful to keep yourself centered, so that when these things arise, you won't look at them as an overly negative situation, because a lot of situations are negative in the appearance, but they're actually a tool to set you up to do greater things. It's a tool to test your faith. It's a tool to build your character. It's a tool. You understand what I'm saying? So, that being said, ask yourself, what are some forces that pop up in my life on a continual basis? What are some forces that come to try to derail me? Because you got to be able to identify. That's number one. You can't solve no problem you can't identify. Okay? And if we headed to where we headed, like you say you are, you're going to be solving problems for the rest of your life. You're either going to solve the problem, or you're going to let the problem dominate you. So you got to be careful when you're dealing with these forces. You got to know, like, hold up, this ain't hitting. This is, oh, I know what this about. Then you'll be able to use wisdom in a situation as opposed to just being reactive and getting yourself in a worse situation than what you started. We don't want that. Two River TV hats are coming. So I definitely want to implore you to learn to identify what I call the forces. Now, you can say forces, evil, good. None of that really matters. The thing that matters is that they exist. They exist. It's a thing called inertia. Inertia is what the planes use to propel those giant planes off the ground. They fly against the wind. They don't fly with the wind. They fly against the wind in order to catch that baby and get on top of that wind. Another word for inertia is devil. So basically, if it wasn't for inertia, it wouldn't be any flying planes out here or any flying birds. They do the same thing. That's where they got the prototype from. That's how they got the technology. They broke that technology down and like, all right, how do birds fly? You know what I'm saying? So the inertia is actually necessary. The devil is actually necessary. The trepidation, the tribulation is actually necessary. If you want to get to where you're going. And where are we trying to go? We're trying to go up. We're not trying to go down. So that's the identifying topic today. The forces. I gave an example of it. I don't want to give too many examples because I don't want you to lock in on those examples, because you have forces in your life right now, be it addiction, procrastination, things like that. But when I say forces, I'm not talking about internal. When I think of forces, it's just like something you can't explain. It's something that's not on the inside of you. It's like, why is all that happening? It's really outside of you forces. That's what I'm talking about. We're not talking about today. We're not talking about the internal forces, because we have those too. Inner demons and inner struggles and inner addictions and mental impurities and things of that nature. I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about those outside forces that you like, hold up. They're outside forces, but they're honestly very connected to you, because if you notice, they show up once you make a decision to go in a certain direction. You see what I'm saying? It could be something as simple as going to a Cancun trip. I want to go to a Cancun trip. You're trying to plan this bad boy for like 6 months, whatever. Everything's smooth, right? Into the month of the trip, everything want to fall out. The bottom want to fall out of everything. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. So those are not like internal issues. Those are external issues, but they arise to test your internal fortitude. Fortitude means, your solidness on the inside, your stableness on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Your heart. Like, cuz got hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's here to test your heart. You know what I'm saying? So, and at the end of the day, like I said, impatient people, you notice, impatient people, patience always getting tested. You notice that, right? The reason why impatient people, patience is always getting tested is because it's areas in their patience they haven't mastered yet. That's once you master something, you ain't got to get tested on it no more. It ain't gonna feel like a test. It's gonna be like, all right, well, that done, nothing. Not even a test anymore. It's not testy anymore. It's not a trial anymore. So, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down for this joint. The forces, not the force, or not the force, the forces in your life that arise at those crazy times. And that's why I always say, This is my formula. I mean, I came up with this. So, you know, when dumb stuff, random stuff happen in your life, ask yourself 3 questions. This will give you some insight on what's really going on here. What was I doing when it happened? What was I getting ready to do when it happened? What did it happening try to prevent me from doing? If you can answer those 3 questions, you'll definitely have some insight on whether this is trying to stop you from doing something great, stopping your focus in a direction of going in the, you know, what you were pre-planning, or not. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to ask yourself those questions, because a lot of random dumb stuff be happening all the time. You know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third. Got deaths out here, people getting killed by they day ones, all kind of crazy stuff going on. You understand what I'm saying? So, but I'm talking about in your life personally. You got to ask yourself these questions so they give you some clarity on what is this thing trying to stop me from doing. And if you find out it's trying to stop you from doing something that you know you're supposed to do, go harder in that direction. That's where the stick to it come from. So go to my last video. That's where the stick to it goes to. Go harder in that direction. You feel me? Like, subscribe, share the notification bell, all that stuff. Share, you know, leave some comments down below, all that good stuff. Because we're going to keep it moving. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out now. This is Rime Live in HD. About to get on this crazy freeway. So I'm about to holler at y'all at another time. Peace.